Okay. Hi there. My name is Ian, and from Order Time. Most of you already know me, so happy holidays. I believe Michael, this is going to be the last one of the year, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I want to wish everybody a very healthy and happy holidays. I'm hoping that 2021 will be a lot better than 2020. I think for sure. And in any event, we soldier on, and we added. So we came out with the build a couple of weeks ago, and we added some great new features. So we're going to review those with you. And the first thing is we added a new list. A lot of people kind of said, well, can I get more information on my inventory list? So we also added the inventory status by location, and you may recognize that table because it's the same table that we use in the inventory status by location report. Okay. Now, by default, it's not filtered, and this is a pretty heavy-duty report, so I would suggest that you filter it, but it has all the fields, including what's available, what's required, what's on order. That would be on the inventory status report by location. And so we added that. And the other thing that we did do by popular request, if you this works for all the lists and all the reports now, you notice that the headers are kind of on top now. They don't scroll away, so you can actually see those pretty clearly on all our reports now. So you can see how the headers are captured there. By the way, if you have any questions during the meeting, you can go ahead and chat them to the chat box, and we'll answer them at the end of the webinar. All right, so that is that new setting over there. A couple other little things that we added, or not so little. You may have noticed that now next to the create PDF, you have an export, which is really the exact same thing, right? So, but they just do different things. This one will create the PDF. This one will simply export the data from the same template. So you'll notice on this template or this PDF, it's the data that's coming, and it's only the fields. It's only the fields that you selected on the template. Okay. So if you want to kind of generate some kind of PDF and send it off to whomever, you can also create a template. So you would basically just go, come into here and go to your form templates, and I'm going to filter for by record type or type, and so you can see this is a lot shorter list now. It's not a very big long list. So I'm going to filter by sales order, and I just get my 6 sales order templates that I created. I can then clone it. So I'm just going to go ahead and clone that one, and we'll call it for exporting. And it doesn't matter really what the design is. Now we will export all the data related to the order, except for the company information, because that's on another table altogether, and except for that basically, and the logo, there's no need to put that on that. So if I wanted to, so I would just basically decide which fields I want to include, whether it's on the header. It doesn't really matter whether it's doc details or anything like that, which items I want, even with, whether I want a kit config, I can even put that, save that, and then go back to my sales order. We're here back to my sales order. And I do have the template here for export. There it is. But I can also use it over here. So there it is. And so there's all the line numbers and even all the way down to the multiple promise dates. So that's that. Another thing that we added is the activities. You can now get an SMS when you create, in addition or in an alternative to an email. So basically that would send to whomever that alert is geared towards a SMS, a text message. In order to enable that, you have to make sure, you have to go to the admin and you have to make sure that whatever user, let's say myself here, you have to put in their phone number. I'm not going to type in my real phone number here, and the carrier, right? So we need the carrier as well. So both of those, and if this is the target of the alert, then we can send them a text message. That's that. We have a couple of new reports. So now we have the reports for quantity adjustments and value adjustments, but we also added a new source of report, and it's called item transaction and open orders. So what this does, it really combines the inventory movement, the past transactions, and the open orders, the future transactions. Okay. So that allows you to do some interesting things. I'm going to open up this sample report, and I only did it for one item, a very simple item that I just created. I created some past transactions in the past. I backdated them, these two transactions over here, and then I created, and those I used the dates, and then for my future transactions, I future dated the promise date, not the date of the order, the promise date. Okay, so for past transactions in this thing, it's always the date of the transaction, like the ship doc or whatever. But for future transactions, it's not the date of the sales order; it's the promise date of the sales order. The promise date of the sales order. So that's what we want, the promise date. So that's where that is. Now you can see here that the first one came in, we got an adjustment, and we're expecting a sales order to go out on the 12th of December before we expect our purchase order to come out. So what this is saying is that this is a running total column, that we're going to fall into a negative situation. We're not going to be able to fulfill that order on that promise date. That's what this report can tell you. Now, you may have a lot of transactions in the past, and you only want to look at the future. So I can go and customize the report and go filter, and I'm going to add the date column over here, and I want to do a custom date. I'm going to start from today, okay, from today, and then I'm going to leave this blank just for the future, okay? I don't want to filter the future. So now, because of the nature of our ledger report, it sums as of the first date. So basically, this is what we have in inventory for this item. If I go here and I look at this item, this will probably be what we have in inventory. There it is. Okay. So that's the beginning. And then we have the purchase order, sales order that's expected to come in on the 18th, the purchase order, and then another sales order. You can see this sales order could be a problem. So this can tell you, hey, let's go and see, let's go and figure out that we're going to have a problem on this particular sales order, and maybe contact the client and see if they want to maybe delay their shipment, and let's say we can delay that for them here for the first. And when I rerun that, we can see that now the purchase order will come in first, replenish our stock, and then we can start to decrease it. Okay. So another use of this type of report now that we know this, we can actually also create a summary report. And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna change this sales order back into that previous date just to prove this point. And this is a very important point. I'm going to move it back to, let's say, the 23rd, which is before that date. It would push us into an oversold situation. All right, so we can see that now. There it is. And let's say I wanted to know, as of, let's say, this date, how much I'm deficient in total. All right, so I'm going to do the same report just for this one, just for this item. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go a new report again with the same source. This time I'm going to do a summary. I'm going to do a summary report. I'm going to do the same tables, the same, quantity. I don't need the details on here. I just need the item. I just need the item name and number. Move that there, and we'll also put the description here of the item just so we can see it. Okay, and summary, and I want to sum this. And again, I can go to my filters. I'll add my ID filter, and of course here you can see here that we don't load the entire. So this loads a lot quicker now. You can just start to type any ID, and it'll pop up, and you just select it like that, and then remove that from the filter. That's just much faster. And again, the date, and this time I'm going to do custom. But I'm going to do it as of, I'm going to do it to the 24th. Okay. So what is this telling me? It's telling me that on the 24th, I'm going to be oversold this item. It's essentially the same thing that this is telling me, except that this is the detail by transaction. This is the summary. Now, if you only want to do less than 0, then you would do something like that. Okay. To show you only the ones to this date that will be less than 0. This is called the kind of, for people that used all orders in the past, efficiency detail. Very powerful. Again, this source, this order, this source combines all the previous movement and all the future movement on order and required. Okay, so powerful source. Okay, so we did a lot of other things as well. Bug fixes. I encourage you to try out the mobile. We now have an Android kind of beta out there ready to go, so you can ship an order with your Android phone. We already have the iOS. The iOS has ship an order, pack a ship dock, and receive a purchase order. And we're working on the move bin for the iOS now. Okay, so that would you would be able to do that instead of doing it in here. Of course, you see here we also improved the move bin by making, instead of loading drop downs, we now just have these lookups, which just make things a lot faster, and you can start kind of typing things in a little bit. So. There's only one. It's called default, probably. There's nothing there. So let's do another one. Let's do HQ. So that's the way to do that. Okay. Alrighty. So we're going to answer some questions here.
Yeah, I've got some lined up. Steve asks, or he says, thanks for the inventory status report as a list. And is there any way to discontinue an old warehouse location so it doesn't show anywhere? He said, I realize we can filter it out, but how would I just remove it completely globally? Is that possible?
The first thing you would want to do is empty all the inventory out of that location. Okay. And then so it doesn't have any inventory. And then you you can't delete it because there's transactions in it. But what you can do is make it inactive. So you come into a location and you just uncheck it like so. Right? And then you save it. That would remove it from the list as an active choice. You can't delete it, but essentially you can hide it. Okay.
All right, and the other one is on the inventory status list. It might be nice to be able to search by custom item fields like you can on the item list.
Huh. Okay.
So is that a possible feature request, or is that possible?
That's a possible. I think it's a feature request. I think it's a feature request. I got to check that.
Okay, dope.
Yeah, I don't think we put the custom fields in here because you can do a report as well and add the custom fields and join as well. So, so there's an alternative for that. There's an alternative for that where you create a report with the inventory movement or the inventory like that inventory, and then you take the inventory by location, and then you add the item. Now you have the item with all the custom fields and that other table together to join. What's called the join. So there is an alternative to that. We can add it to a feature request.
All right, I'll put in a feature request for it. And if there's any other questions about anything that was shown today or any of the things that you saw in the release notes, you guys can ask it up in the top right. Just click on the chat button and then type it in. And I've got you, Roger. I'll send you the presentation afterwards.
It's a fairly straightforward
implementation. Yeah, we got the new list. We got the SMS. The text messaging was important for some of the alerts.
We're also continuing with the B2B. Continuing putting making improvements and just to the B2B. So definitely check that out as well. Your customer portal, where your customers can log in and see only their products. If you want to filter, so for example, we just did it one particular filter for this particular customer can only see one particular category called bars, and that's all they see. And so using this, they can see how much is in stock So there's 70 available. I can look at the list view, or I can look at the grid view, and then add these things to, to an order cart. I don't have prices here, but add that. Check out. And here you can select, different types of things. You can implement you can implement what we have, the estimator. I'll show you that inside the shipping estimator inside, and this can be either a PO. There's options also to put, allow the user to select their own promise date, and also to put in a memo. And you submit that, and it creates our order.
There you go.
Okay, and it submits our order into order time directly. You can they can print, their own. So kind of a self-service, and they can view their account. They can even pay their orders and whatever they have. They can view their invoices, pay their invoices, etc. Okay, so there.
And you can set up your customers like with their own individual logins, or you can set it up so that they can register for a login or disable that feature, either or.
Right.
The other thing is we have the beta of the Android app now. So if any of you are interested in that, I'll include the link to that also in the follow-up email after this. I'll include the link to this video in particular for everyone who couldn't be here today, and for all those who want to go back and check how he got to all those different features and set up the settings. And I think that's it. We don't have any further questions.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I want to wish everybody a very happy and healthy holidays, and we'll see everybody in the new year. Thank you very much.
Have a good day, everyone.